When a samurai fails his feudal lord, either willingly or unwillingly, the path of the Ronin opens up before him. The Ronin is to the samurai what the blackguard is to the paladin, a renegade path for those who lose their lawful alignment. Ronin will wander the land, offering their services as mercenaries to those who will accept them, or simply traveling from place to place taking what comes to them. And along their path, the Ronin may find some of his Bushido abilities come to him once again. Hello, and welcome to another D&D 3.5 Prestige class review. Today we're going to look at the Ronin Prestige class from Complete Warrior. Ronin are renegade samurai who become chaotic and thus gain a more roguish theme to them. They are basically the blackguard or anti-paladin to samurai, with special rules for what happens if you come to this Prestige class as a samurai. So what do you need to become a Ronin? You need to be of any non-lawful alignment, you need a base attack bonus of +6, and you need exotic weapon proficiency in the Bastard Sword. For a samurai, you qualify for this Prestige class automatically, as you get exotic weapon proficiency in the Bastard Sword at level 1, because the Masterwork Bastard Sword is the D&D 3.5 equivalent of the katana. The requirements for this Prestige class are hardly restrictive at all though, even for non-samurai. A +6 base attack bonus, non-lawful alignment, and a single feat is not hard at all to get. Admittedly, exotic weapon proficiency in the Bastard Sword is not the best feat out there, as it only gives you a +1 to damage when you actually look at the benefit, but it's not horrible. Fighters can take this Prestige class pretty easily, and are likely a better choice for it than the Samurai, given how weak the Samurai class is in general. As a Ronin, you get a D10 hit die, full base attack bonus, and good fortitude save. You also get 2 plus intelligence modifier skill points per level, and your class spell list is fairly similar to the Samurai, although diplomacy is replaced with bluff and disguise. These are pretty decent stats, the same as a samurai or fighter for the most part. Now let's take a look at what class features you get. The Ronin is a 10 level prestige class, and you don't get a lot of unique class features. At level 1 you get Infamy. This feature is more of a drawback than anything else, as you have a dishonorable reputation, and anyone who knows of your past starts with an attitude 1 degree worse than usual. And you get a -4 on all charisma-based skill checks with that person. That's a fairly steep downgrade, effectively a -9 on your diplomacy checks with the two factors combined. This makes it a bit difficult for the Ronin to fulfill his described role as a mercenary, but sometimes it's not hard to convince someone to hire you as such. Also at level 1 you get Sneak Attack plus 1d6. This works just like Rogue Sneak Attack, and your progression as a Ronin is 1 level slower than the Rogue, meaning you get an extra Sneak Attack die at levels 4, 7, and 10. You certainly are no rogue, but you do get it as an option for extra damage at least, which is good. Speaking of extra damage, at level 2 you gain this Prestige class's other unique feature, which is Bonsai Charge. Whenever you charge an opponent, you can take a penalty to your armor class of between -2 and a maximum of your base attack bonus. You then add that much as a bonus to your damage roll for your attack. For example, a level 6 fighter, level 2 Ronin, could have anywhere from a -2 to a -8 to armor class and get anywhere from +2 to +8 on damage. This ability is fantastic, and it works just like the Heedless Charge feature of the well-known Shock Trooper feat, a crucial pillar of charging builds in D&D 3.5, that focus on feats like Shock Trooper and Leap Attack to deal out insane damage on a charge attack. In fact, it seems like the two could be stacked if one wished to have a truly terrifying damage bonus at the cost of sinking your armor class potentially into the negatives. Still, as with the mindset of all charging builds, a character who kills his enemy in a single blow no longer has to worry about his armor class if no one is left to retaliate. Still, even by itself, Bonsai Charge is a great feature, and a highlight of the Ronin Prestige class. In fact, the highlight of the Ronin Prestige class. At level 3 you get no feature. At level 4 you get another die of sneak attack damage. At level 5 you get a bonus feat. You also get a bonus feat at level 9. Your options are all archery related feats or mounted combat related feats. This is genuinely bizarre, as the class is otherwise melee focused and doesn't have a whole lot to do with being mounted. Yes, it is good to shore up your ranged capabilities, and while mounted combat isn't completely alien to the samurai archetype, it is often not practical in a lot of D&D campaigns that are heavy on the dungeon delving. That leaves the archery feats, which aren't going to be that relevant to you either. This feature isn't useless for sure, but it also isn't one you're going to be looking forward to, and it's more, building a different part of your character up rather than improving his main focus in melee combat. Level 6 gives you no class feature, level 7 gives you sneak attack plus 3d6, and level 8 also gives you nothing. Level 9, as we said, gives you your second bonus feat, and level 10, the final level of this prestige class, gives you sneak attack plus 4d6. That's it. It almost seems like they gave up designing the Ronin halfway through. It just looks unfinished. That's not to say that every prestige class needs to have a unique capstone ability, but there needs to be some reason to keep taking it. As is, the Ronin really is effectively a 2-level prestige class. The Bonsai Charge feature is excellent, but nothing else it offers is any good. The bonus feats, you can get more of them with vastly more flexible options for them by taking more levels of fighter. The sneak attack, well, you could simply start taking levels in Rogue and get more sneak attack dice faster than you could with Ronin. There'd be a little bit of a hit die downgrade, but so what? You could take a combination of both, but that's where you really can't replace the two. If you went into this prestige class as a samurai, you almost could, with 2 levels of fighter, giving you those 2 bonus feats, and then 6 more levels of rogue to give you 3d6 sneak attack. You'd fall a little bit short of taking levels in Ronin, so there is some slight value in taking more levels here, but it isn't actually a good idea, because you are spreading yourself between those 2 disparate abilities. Your bonus feats from Ronin are not going to help you much with sneak attack, at least not the good kind with 2 weapons in melee. The Samurai does help here with its focus on 2-weapon fighting, but again, you could take more levels on Rogue if that's what you cared about. Where the Ronin does have some value in continued levels is as an ex-Samurai. If you had 1 to 5 levels of Samurai and became a Ronin, you regain your Kie's Smite feature. With 6 to 10 Samurai levels, you get that plus any stare-down features you had before. And if you had 11 or more levels in Samurai, you can immediately gain a Ronin level for each level of Samurai you trade in. This is where it is similar to Blackguard. This is helpful, but you do lose the Samurai level's benefit for this last feature. And even so, it's not a good idea to be playing an X anything in D&D 3.5, as it leaves you with a sudden lump of dead levels that give you nothing, and you might as well be playing an NPC class. So this benefit is hardly worth it, and again, you are better off entering as a fighter. So, overall, the Ronin gets 4 stars for concept, but only 2 stars for execution. It has amazing roleplay potential as a rogue knight type of character, a fallen samurai, but it is only worth taking 2 levels of, and is basically a dead prestige class after that, unless you really want to have a D10 hit die with a weak sneak attack progression. The second level feature is fantastic, especially if you were able to combine it with Shock Trooper though, so that does give the Ronin some value as a prestige class. So that'll be about it for this D&D 3.5 prestige class review. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and so on. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time here on 3.5 Archive.